Hi, my name is Vivian Gale, or Freedom Gale, some of you may know me as, and I'm here to talk to you about my new book, Fart in the Wind. Fart in the Wind is an emotional and spiritual guide to graceful and effective communication with anybody. Basically, it's a how to get along with anybody book. It examines the primary reasons why relationships fail, and of course, it examines the first and foremost, most important relationships, and that is the relationship with self and with God. Fart in the Wind, when you read the book, you'll know that it cannot have any other name. It compares the act and response to farting to the act and response to sharing honest feelings, shock, amazement, embarrassment, desire to run away from the scene, with the act in response to sharing honest feelings. In my 14 years of counseling, I've come to learn that people have a difficult time handling honest truth. And, I myself included, had to learn on how to receive criticism and other people's feelings with grace and without being afraid. And so when you learn, how to do that, then all of your relationships, of course, will be wonderful. Right now, I want to examine some ways that I can help you, or this book can help you, work on your relationships. Okay, so the first chapter on in this book, of course, is on facts on farting. The biological reasons that we pass gas. And towards the end of that chapter, I give other words for farting and other words for feelings. And I also give examples of farting with grace at the end of the book, and that is how to fart without offending. Let's see. The introduction says that Fart in the Wind is a comedial and inspirational self-help book about letting go. It is an emotional and spiritual guide on successful and effective communication with anyone. We hold in our farts like we hold onto our fears. We're so afraid to let them out because somebody might know, or somebody might hear it and know that we fart. Oh my God. So the fear of farting is synonymous with the fear of letting go, facing our true feelings and our fears. Then sharing those feelings with others is even scarier because we're afraid of loss of friendships, we're afraid of judgment, and of losing respect from those people that we care about. The reality is, however, is that life does sometimes stink. And once you let out your farts or your flatulence, the smell fades and the air is clean to breathe again, and everybody's happy. To my knowledge, no one's ever died from a fart. So also, we deal with feelings every day, even if it only includes trying to hide the negative ones or masquerade them. Have you ever been in a small car filled with people and someone breaks wind? I have. It was so bad. The driver had to pull over and we all got out. We rushed out, pushing each other out the car for safety. I thought it was funny afterwards, but my friend became so angry because the stench was so bad, and it was his brother that did it. And believe me, they actually almost physically fought over a fart. When you fart really bad like that and someone is approaching you, at the same time, at that moment that they realize that you did it, and you realize that they smelled it, they want to vomit or kill you, and you want to dig your own grave. Your eyes look like that of an innocent dumb deer who's about to become roadkill. Time stands still, and seconds become the longest moment of your life. And you wish that you could just twinkle your nose and disappear. This book needs to reach today's market. The face of America and the world, for that matter, is changing. As you read this book and as I write it, the lives of busy people have forced feelings to take a back seat to work, family, traffic jams, business meetings, addictions, and the hustle and bustle of everyday life. The state of the economy has more people home today in bad spirits because of loss of employment, income, and or other assets, at home with nothing left to do, to think about their lives. their past, and their unhappiness. Okay. So afraid to get real with our honest feelings behind all the hardships we face every day, we ignore them. Who gives the emotional education anyways? Not our parents, not our schools, and we run from counselors and therapists for fear of people thinking that we're crazy if they find out that we're seeing a counselor or a therapist. We hold in our feelings like we hold in our flatulence as hard as we can and as long as we can. When we get in trouble, we get negative consequences. When we are angry, upset, or afraid, we react in self-defeating ways. Out of fear of the consequences, while our feelings behind the situation are swarming around inside of us like a cyclone. Very seldom do people confront the feelings, but instead they focus on the outburst of the feelings. There are few who have the patience and take the time to facilitate an understanding of the feelings behind behavior. Theirs and yours and your own. In my experience as a substance abuse counselor, it says 12 years here, working with adolescent adults and families, specializing with addictions and substance abuse problems, it has afforded me ample opportunity to witness the lack of communication skills that peoples or individuals possess. It's astonishing. I've sat chair to chair with nurses, paralegals, murderers, drug dealers, robbers, thieves, and child abusers, who all share the same problem as the average American family. That is, the ability to communicate effectively. And they lack the ability to effectively share their most honest feelings. They don't know how. It's not their fault. We haven't been taught. We walk away from conversations that are designed for resolution, still holding on to our anger and things we should have said. Improper communication or lack of communication is the biggest reasons relationships fail. Second only to purposely doing harmful things. Being a good listener and a good talker is a major component in successful communication. Remember, problems don't simply go away, they just change. In all areas of our lives, we become good at masking our emotions. In this book, I'll show how difficult we make the process of sharing our feelings and the reasons why. Also, the effects of not letting go of negative emotions on the body, on the mind, and on the emotions. Also, I'll illustrate how our method of communicating or lack thereof affects others and ourselves. I'll provide new and effective ways of talking about problems without creating new ones. After all, who gives the emotional education anyways? We get advice from our friends and family members who share with us their well-intended subjective views. However, we can help ourselves by studying new approaches to handling our emotions, learning to recognize when and how to share and how we are feeling, with whom and when. How do you handle your feelings? The goal of Fart in the Wind, or the goal of this book, is to assist the reader in knowing it's okay to fart. The analogies made between farting and feelings show how the farter experiences the same feelings before, during, and after breaking wind as the person who has been holding in negative emotions and then finally explodes. Though farting offers a great physical relief, it brings the same embarrassment, shock, and shame, along with the desire to run away from the scene as passing gas does. The most important relationship we will consider again here is the relationship with self. How are you relating to you? How are you emoting, storing, processing, and releasing your own feelings? How do you feel about you, who you are, your past, your present, and your future? Once the personal relationship is intact, all other relationships become manageable. I myself struggled a good portion of my life with stuffing emotions, scared of my own feelings, and while destroying my life, my dreams, and relationships in the process, I found that redemption is always possible. So don't give up hope. Come with me on this journey. In this book, I'll teach you tried and tested ways of farting without fear. This is a book you will read over again and then pass on to a friend. It's a book mothers will give to their children, children to their parents, teens to peers, to their friends, bosses to employees, sisters to brothers, brothers to sisters, wives. You'll give it to your husbands, and counselors and therapists will give it to their patients. And now I am going to give it to you. So come with me on a journey as we start looking on the inside of Fart in the Wind. And if you can, take a minute to go to viviangale.com and order your copy today.